amplitude, period, phase shift or horizontal shift, and midline or vertical shift. The amplitude is 1, the period is 2 pi over b, which is just 2 pi. I also like to write down the quarter period, which is just 1/4 of the full period. So 2 pi divided by 4, that's going to be pi over 2. The phase shift or horizontal shift, since there's nothing in there in the parentheses with the theta, it's just 0, no phase shift, and the midline is also 0. So to make my graph, I'm going to try to make a habit of like kind of making a box, and then I'll fill in the graph. So I'll start by plotting this point, which will determine the center left of the box. So my phase shift is an x-coordinate, so I'll go to the 0. And then the midline is a y-coordinate. So both of them are 0, so I know my box will be starting right here. To round out the box, to complete it, I know the amplitude is 1, so the top of the box will be up 1 and down 1. Now I just need to find these other 2 points to complete the box. The length of the box will be 1 period 2 pi in this case, so I go over there. And I might not actually always physically actually draw the box, but at least it'll be in my imagination, or maybe I'll dash it in and erase it later. And since this is cosine, I know it starts high and then goes middle, low, middle, low. I guess this is where maybe my quarter period comes into play. I will mark these quarter periods, and those are the intervals where I go from high, middle, low, middle, high, and from there I put in a nice curve. And maybe I'll erase the box. So I'll start by plotting this point. Then I'll go up and down by the amplitude. And then I'll go over by 2 pi. My little box. And then I'll put in those quarter periods. And because it's sine, I know it starts in the middle and goes high like that. So I start in the middle, go high, middle, low, high, then curve it in. B is still 1, so the period is 2 pi over b, or just 2 pi. My quarter period is that divided by 4, pi over 2. Phase shift. I think this whole worksheet doesn't have any phase shifts. Those are, I don't know, more difficult. So if we do see them, I'd expect it to be the later problems. But I'll keep filling it in. Phase shift 0, midline also 0. So start by plotting that point, and I'll start forming my box. Go up 2, down 2, then go right by the period. And I'll mark in the quarter periods. Because it's cosine, I know it starts high, then middle, low, middle, high. All right, more. sine, so it starts middle, high, middle, low. So to get a quarter period, to divide this by 4, I multiply the denominator by 4. Phase shift inside the parentheses is 0, and then the midline is also 0, the vertical shift. So I plot that point first. I go up the amplitude, down the amplitude, and then over by the period. Make my little box. Then my quarter period is pi over 8. And because it's cosine, it starts high, middle, low, middle, high. And this one's going to be similar. Just copy the stuff from the last one since it has the same, all the aspects are the same, the amplitude, the period, phase shift. The only difference is it's sine. So instead of starting high, it starts middle.